And now, News 2 Sports Overtime.
The Gamecocks played an SEC thriller in Columbia last night. We'll take a closer look at the win over Tennessee that's coming up tonight.
And one of the biggest games of the year so far in the Low Country, the 5A Region 8 title. What's different about the game? And we'll preview the matchup.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brianne Welch alongside Logan Reaver. As always, thank you for staying with us after Sunday Night Football.
It is the only local sports show where both people look exactly the same.
Exactly.
I think it's fair to say. Before we get going, we had an eventful week, and we started with the leadoff.
And now, OT's the leadoff.
This World Series has had Gamecocks fingerprints all over it. Timely hitting, clutch performances can really be all attributed to a couple of former players in Steve Pierce and Jackie Bradley Jr., but tonight they had a chance to become champions. Steve Pierce must have heard me because the South Carolina alum is done not being in the spotlight. Last night, he starts his MVP debate discussion, now a one-run lead. Mookie Betts says that you better put that right back on the board with a 2-run lead. He finally launches one in after struggles in recent games, a 3-1 game. And if you haven't had enough of the crack of the bat, JD Martinez gets into it. He slugs into one. Now the Sox are starting to open it up. My dad texted me in caps after that one. Steve goes, "Oh, did you forget about me already?" He goes bomb again. Third homer in 2 nights and a knockout blow to the Dodgers. Here is a look at your final out, and Chris Sale went into the game and my heart melted. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. The Red Sox are going to be your 2018 world champions. They had to wait a whole 5 years between titles. Poor them. It's become the norm in that city. Special thanks to Brianne for dealing with my cheering throughout as well.
It wasn't so bad since y'all are used to winning things. But it was great. Congratulations to the Red Sox. All season long, the Gamecocks, we're going to keep talking about them. They've been known for waiting to have an up-tempo offense, but consistently having slow starts. That's exactly what happened last night against Tennessee, but that's just the beginning of the story. Let's get to it. A late-night game at Williams-Brice. Tennessee did start out on a much better note than the Gamecocks. For starters, early on in the first quarter, Jake Bentley's pass is tipped up, bounces around a little bit. Finally, it's intercepted by Shy Tuttle. Now, the Vols did not score after that turnover, but shortly after they did get it across the goal line. Eli Wolf, the receiver, he's going to get the touchdown for the Vols. Let's fast forward to the second quarter. Still Tennessee in control. Juwan Jennings, the guy falls over the goal line. UT leads 14-3, and just the celebration, the disrespect, putting it on right on his chest. But the Gamecocks picked up the tempo like they do. Things started to speed up right before the half. You know the drill. Bentley scrambles. This pass up and over everyone. To Debo Samuel, of course, a one-handed grab back to the end zone, 14-9 going to the half. Coming out of the half, Tennessee scored first on their first possession, but again, the Gamecocks start to speed things up. Things are clicking. Tyson Williams, a great catch that eventually, he was down at the 1, but eventually led to a touchdown. Then we've got a rushing touchdown. Again, this one from Williams, just like to go to the same spot, right to the corner of the end zone. They've got to go for 2 to tie it up. Bentley keeps it himself, gets 2, goes down hard. Don't worry, though, Gamecock fans. Your quarterback, he is just fine. And guess who's going to steal the deal other than the defense? Wando's Parker White kicks the field goal to give the Gamecocks the 3-point lead. They get a huge SEC East win, 27-24. The running game was a really big story in it. They rushed for 224 yards, and no one's complaining about that.
They had a good plan coming in, and I think we responded well to that. And the running backs knew the opportunity that they had to have a big game. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if we run the ball for this many yards every game, I will be very happy. So
I think everybody was on the same page tonight. We were communicating well, and I just think everybody was just excited about playing that week off, motivated us, and we worked a lot on the run game. So we know what we can do in the run game, and we just need to keep on doing it.
This lady tried telling me Clemson and FSU would be a blowout. I disagreed. Thought it would be a really tight one. There's a reason that I have to call these highlights now. No score in the second. You can change that. Not a lot of cheering going on for FSU. That was the only footage, really. No score in the second. It's going to be T. Higgins, jump ball, no competition. Next drive, Travis Etienne, who's actually now a Heisman candidate. That might have taken a hit, though. Only 45 yards rushing in this one. And a main reason why, they didn't need him, like, at all. Lawrence right back to tee. Their bond is as strong as an Old Spice commercial spokesman, Terry Crews. Speaking of peak performance, this defense, not allowing an inch all day. They hold the Noles to just 10 points. This pick going to Trey Lamar, who sets the offense up beautifully. But let's be real, these dudes didn't need much help today. And to give you perspective, there are now 300-pound men scoring touchdowns. There are truly no rules when it comes to the Clemson offense. Christian Wilkins, the defensive lineman, is in. That was just the start. 59-10 your final. It's going to be an extra sad shower for those two. Clemson had a whole lot to cheer about with the demolishing of FSU, and when you make shirtless, middle-aged opposing fans have to read books in the stands during the game, then that usually means things went pretty darn right for you. Dabo got to clear the benches, and backups were in, and they lit up the scoreboard too. So he said it's a point of pride for this team.
Just a lot of good things, you know, throwing to all kind of different guys. Travion had a nice play. I think we involved a lot of guys, got a chance to touch the ball. TJ Chase had a touchdown. It might have been his first touchdown of his career. Fun day involving so many people. I think we played all 72. So I think that's 3 out of our 4 road games so far. We've played everybody we brought.
Citadel Bulldogs at home yesterday. Coach Brent Thompson, he is a dog lover. Love that. Proves it pregame. Now he was nice to the Bulldogs. Furman quarterback Jamar Lincoln, not so much. He was carrying the load for the Paladins. 3 touchdowns on the ground. But while you run, the Dogs are going to throw you for a loop. You have to see to believe. Furman stacks the box with the option in mind. Raleigh Webb escapes the secondary like it's Alcatraz. That gave the Citadel a 3-point lead that they held on going into the 4th, mainly because of this swarming defensive line. Joseph Randolph drops Lincoln, but as we've come to learn in these Citadel home games, the Bulldogs, they just can't seem to close it out down the stretch. Lincoln goes back in. They tack on a late defensive score and take it 28-17.
CSU hosted Kennesaw State, and how about the Bucks defense? Right before half, James Allen with the pick, and the navigation is like somebody just turned Waze on. From end zone to end zone, 100-yard return. But the big plays on this night belong to the Owls. Darnell Holland, also pretty good with direction. He proves it here. A 65-yard adventure, to say the least. Kennesaw State rolls past CSU 38-10.
It was some tackles we missed in the backfield. It was some sacks we missed, and you can't give a team like this those type of mistakes. So we just got to take advantage of it. We got to move forward. We know what we got to work on. We know what we have to do. Like you said, this is a tough offense, but we fought. I mean, they run the scoreboard up on people, and we refused to let that happen. Sad to say we came out with an L, but on the defense side of the ball, we fought.
We have to stay on the field offensively to give our defense a rest. We did at times. We had plays there. We got 2 drops, one for a touchdown, another one to set us up inside the 10, more than likely. I don't want to say ifs and this and all that kind of stuff. Those are their plays to be made, and we got behind them.
To the NFL now, Panthers coming off the high of a 17-point comeback last week in Philly, and it's like that game never ended because they just brought that right into this week. A lot of momentum. Didn't start that way, though. Alex Collins on the carry, definitely not some ideal tackling. He goes in for the first score of the game. Former competitive Irish step dancer, wait for it, and that is actually a fact that's not made up. Panthers, though, they're right back. End of the first quarter. McCaffrey, some hesitation, finds some room, and then he boogies on in there. And then kids fighting for the ball. Feelings might get hurt. Speaking of hurt, try being Collins after this smash. Kyle Love bursts through there, and that thing is loose. Panthers eventually fall on it. They would go down and score, and you know it's your day when this happens. Wait for it. Batted ball. Football gods make it look like they drew it up. McCaffrey, right place, right time. Cam usually, he's always in the right place. On this occasion, he makes his own right place. Not a body in sight, goes rocky arms at the 5. That was your sealer. Panthers take it 36-21. Now to NASCAR. The Monster Energy Cup playoffs continue today. We're at Martinsville. Kyle Busch starting on the pole. We're going to start things off with a caution from Jeb Burton on lap 53, always what you want to start a race with. Now we're back on track, lap 71, literally on track. Jimmy Johnson on the inside, but spins out. So yes, we have another caution, now a different kind of excitement. Don't mind the hockey. Lap 116, we've got a lead change. Denny Hamlin takes it from Kyle Busch, and he's going to take stage 1. Hamlin leading toward the end of stage 2, but Joey Logano takes stage 2. That's after a tight little battle, and then a little bit of drama. There's a fire. Timmy Hill at the front of his car on pit road So that's interesting, but we do have another lead change. Brad Keselowski gets the inside on Logano. He's your newest leader. We have 2 laps to go, and that's when things get really interesting. Martin Truex Jr. edges into the lead past Logano, but on the final lap, Joey Logano fights back. They're rubbing doors all the way to the end, and he is your winner, and he now has a chance at the championship. Coming up next on News 2 Sports Overtime, our Carolina connection, we've got some great content from the NFL and, of course, from the World Series.
And now, the OT's Carolina Connection.
If the state of South Carolina has a Wi-Fi network, you better believe they were connected this week. Home runs on the biggest stage, touchdowns galore, and even defensive masterpieces. Yeah, we give defense love too. Jump to the baseball first. Couple of former Gamecocks you saw before, you'll see it again. The World Series, JBJ had his time to shine in Game 3 with the game-tying home run, and last night it was Steve Pearce at first, his moment in the sun. He launched a game-tying home run in the 8th to complete a 4-run comeback, cleared the bases to open up the game in the 9th. You saw what he did tonight. He grew up a lifelong Sox fan, and afterwards he talked about how special this is for him and his family.
And then we backtrack to Game 3 of the World Series. Jackie Bradley Jr., we just said the game-tying home run, or double. Now in the postseason, Game 3, he gets a home run, ties the game up at 1, a solo shot. That was the 18-inning marathon that the Dodgers ended up winning, but great for JBJ.
To the football side, the Ravens lost to the Panthers, but former Gamecock Hayden Hurst scored his first NFL touchdown late in the 4th quarter. Didn't really matter in the game, but a win for Hurst and the community, I guess you could say.
Once again, it is time for the Blitz on 2 top 5 plays of the week. We've only got 1 week left to go in the regular season, so let's check out some highlights from Week 10. Number 5 this week from Hanahan, Gale Ball III takes the pitch, breaks 1 tackle, and just bullies past 2 more for the touchdowns. Hawks win big 41-7. Number 4, Demarius Anderson is a hard runner from Stratford, keeps his legs under him, rolls through several tackles, and stays up to get over the goal line for the night touchdown. Stratford, a big win over Goose Creek 32-14. Number 3, Wando hosting James Island, DQ Vinson fires deep to the end zone to Rodney Harrison for the touchdown. Not long after they made that connection again for another TD, Trojans get it done in overtime at Wando to win 35-28. Number 2, Berkeley at Cane Bay, a rainy game for these guys. Early on, the Stags punting, but it is blocked by D'Angelo Francis, recovered by Danny Davis for the touchdown. A great play, but not enough. Berkeley went on to win big 42-7. And our top play of the week is courtesy of the Burke Bulldogs. Victor Goodwin, he had a top play last week, and he shows us what kind of runner he is again this week against Phillip Simmons. Breaks several tackles, has one major juke at the end of this run. Over 70 yards later, he gives the Bulldogs a touchdown. They went on to win 22-14. Those are your top 5 plays of the week.
Time for us to take a break, but coming up next on the OT, Do You Know Your Teammate continues this week featuring twins. Stick around.
And now, the OT Spotlight.
Do you know your teammate has gone from the friendly confines and expanded into family? This week we have a special edition with 2 family members, and not just do they share the same field, they share the same face. Joining me now is Jamar and Jamal in a special edition of Do You Know Your Teammate? If you can't already tell, they're twins. So let's get this out of the way, guys, first. Who was born first?
He was born first.
Does he bring it up a lot, like in everyday situations?
Yeah, he does, because he thinks he rules me since he's the oldest.
In one word, describe what kind of child Jamal was growing up. So we got playful and funny. Okay.
Like we were younger, he always played jokes, and me and my cousins, so he was funny and it made us laugh.
What was the worst joke he ever did?
He glued my eyes shut.
He glued your eyes shut?
Yeah, he glued my eyes shut.
You glued his eyes shut?
Yeah, just to be funny. Why?
Who is Jamar's go-to superhero? Go. We got Superman and Batman. Did you have the sheets growing up? Is that why?
Yeah, Superman. He had Batman.
What is Jamar's most annoying habit that's suitable for air? And show it. We got picks and always playing. So we're shutting eyes closed and now we're always, so you're still playing.
Yeah, he's a funny kid. He thinks it's funny. My mom thinks it's not. He always picks, you know. My mom don't think it's funny, but he thinks it's funny. So.
What is something Jamal thinks he's good at, but in reality is not? You knew right off the bat. And go. Basketball and basketball hoops. So the one thing that can tell you guys apart. He's more playful and talking.
Our brother talks a little bit more than me.
He's a talkative guy?
Yeah, he's talks to the guy.
Does he think you never shut up or something like that?
I would think so sometimes.
Sometimes. Jamal is trapped on a desert island and can only bring one thing. What is it?
Oh, no.
Immediately. Reveal. Football and football, huh? So if you get stuck on a desert island, you're just gonna eat a football?
And when you throw the ball, get arm strength. So,
So what you're saying is you're just gonna keep working out when you get on a desert island. That way, when somebody pulls you out, you're jacked.
I'm already strong. But our nickname is Little Man and Big Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Little man and big man.
Yeah. They call him Big Man. They call me Little Man.
How does that make you feel?
This makes me feel. He's not much bigger than me, so it doesn't make me feel bad.
Are you gonna get him one day?
Yeah, one day. I'm gonna catch up.
We really do love that segment. Thank you, Logan. That was a good one. I liked it. All right, well, we are used to high school football on Friday nights, but we've got a big-time Monday night game here in the Low Country, the Region 8 championship game at Fort Dorchester. The Patriots host the Summerville Green Wave. Both teams are undefeated in the region. Summerville has 2 losses. Fort D has 1 due to a game they had to forfeit. Either way, these are 2 great teams with high-powered offenses. Summerville coming into the game off a bye week. Now they have a few more days after the game was rescheduled due to weather. No matter when this game is played, though, the Green Wave are ready for another chance at a region title, and they know just how important this game is.
One of our goals going into the season is to put ourselves in a position to play for a region championship, and that's where we're at. And we were here last year and couldn't get the job done, so that was another goal we made, and here we are, ready for that. And we know with playing in the tough region like we play, it does prepare us for the playoffs. So. The winner of this game gets one of the top seeds and hosts a few extra playoff games, so we know the importance of that as well.
Our Gem of the Week is a highlight that we'll take a closer look at. That's coming up next on the OT.
This Gem of the Week is one we've shown you a couple of times already, but it's so good, we're going to show it again, and he's done it before this season. Debo Samuel, he did it again last night in the back of the end zone. One-handed grab will slow it down for you. It was the Gamecocks' first touchdown of the game. He caught it and stayed in bounds. He just does that like it's nothing. He does it so many times, he'd have a spectacular reel right now.
And now, OT's The Talker.
Well, all you need to know about the talker at the water cooler is that the Boston Red Sox are your World Series champions. As you take a look over outside of Fenway Park, as things definitely more mild right now. Trust me, it'll get a lot more wild than that. When they won in 2013, when I was there, people would storm the Boston Common. So that is much more, if there was ever a bump shot to be had, that is the place to take it. Yes, those people are out of their minds in the best way possible. In a good way.
They just won a World Series. What do you expect?
What do you want them to do, people? So definitely starting out milder right now, but they will, into the night, all bets are off what's going to happen there.
Again, congratulations to the Red Sox and all of the Gamecocks who play for them and everybody else. Don't forget, Summerville and Fort Dorchester play tomorrow for the Region 8 Championship. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Bria Mulch, Logan Reaver. Have a great night.